This week on SailAway, it's the exciting conclusion to everything we've spent on this boat in 2 years.
Yeah! Last week you saw everything on the outside. This week we'll show you everything on the inside.
So meet me on that island, kiss me on that shore. Hey, promise me that we'll sail away, and I'll be yours forevermore.
Looking good.
All right, well, he's obviously off the boat.
Time to go pay one of our multi-week visits to one of the mini-marts.
We're about 30 minutes before his sailing class ends, so we're gonna go walk down and pick up some sandwich fixins because we're out again. Because like people eat on this boat, and it's crazy. So let's go do that, and then we'll show you the inside and everything that we've spent on that one.
Makes me hungry walking along here at lunchtime. Patties for lunch? It's mostly me that likes these, I think.
Yes. Do you want a patty?
I want a patty.
Okay, then you can have a patty.
Patties for Dad.
Okay, lunchtime.
Yeah, and it's also time for you guys to catch up on the exciting conclusion of how much money is this boat costing us.
Yeah, we are gonna do the full
reveal.
Yeah, at the end.
It was not small enough for one video, so you got to see the outside last week. And if you haven't, go right there, and that'll take you to last week's video so you can catch up on all the stuff on the outside, including the motors and generator and all that kind of stuff, bottom, everything we did in the boatyard.
This week, it's inside. All the inside stuff, all the work.
This is where the ticky-tack stuff comes in.
Yeah, the dollar bills.
Yeah.
Add up.
They did.
I mean, it already added up.
It needed the dollar bills inside. It still does.
Still needs some dollar bills.
We're rambling. Without further ado, here we are.
Inside. Now we're gonna be inside where it's almost cool. So we'll start in the salon and we'll start with our batteries. So we put in new batteries and cables. They were Chin's batteries. They were literally the whole reason we went back up to the States was so that we could get new batteries. We got a new Xantrax inverter and charger and display. We got a new Mastervolt charger.
It was very, very hot in there, and so a couple computer fans with a heat activated switch have been keeping that whole area cool, along with some nice big vents on either side.
So we removed the blinds because we want to actually be able to see out, and we got curtains instead so we can close them or open them or do whatever we want.
Lauren sewed those, we didn't just get them.
Yeah, they were a pain because all of the heights are different, and so that's why they are all slightly off.
Yeah, it's really tough. Yeah.
We disassembled the table. We kind of already talked about that. We disassembled that table and used it in a storage way. It doesn't really get open very much because it's very heavy. Yeah, we rebuilt the bottom out of all of the old table parts. We got a new TV. That is River's favorite part. We rebuilt the TV mount because it was really weird before. I don't remember what was up with it, but
yeah, it was just kind of wonky.
And we installed a soundbar with that. And we removed the dead speakers that were posted up in the corners and took out all of the wiring for those, which we rewired into a stereo, I guess. And then we have lights everywhere. We've redone all of these lights twice. 2 different kinds of lights. One didn't work, one did. We'll put the info for the ones that did.
It was a size thing.
It always is. It just falls out randomly.
These are very similar to the very first ones we put in. These are just a little more expensive and they've got a slightly different spring clip. They happen to fit the old holes perfectly.
So we just did random cleaning out of everything that was not needed on the nav station. Some things are still there that need to be removed. Basically everything on that does not work right now. And eventually we will redo that nav station into something that is actually functional. Oh yeah, we removed the chair and put in a different chair. And eventually that chair will go away. We removed water and cleanup. There was just a lot of water coming into the boat that we have taken care of all of that. We haven't had any standing water lately. All right, so we sealed the windows with UV tape. This was something that we thought we were going to take care of and we were going to redo all the windows, but then when the boat had all of the other problems, we decided that these were functional enough that we would just work with them and make sure that they are sealed. And we fixed some window trim. They were falling apart and coming out and we fixed them. So that is mainly what's happened in here. Go to the hobbit hole.
To the hobbit hole! Lauren mentioned a lot of water ingress, which was a big problem in this boat. There's a lot of mystery water. This entire floor had water under it. And as it turned out, that water was making its way into these bench compartments through some of the openings where wiring and things go. We later discovered when we installed this. This is also one of our favorite things that we have put into the boat. Obviously, it is a washer and spin dryer. Just your basic sort of apartment style model. And we ran all new plumbing for that. We already had an electric hookup back there, so that was no problem. But the drain that we found that we're using for this turned out was just an open through hull. Now it's up in the middle of the boat, so it's not really near the water, unless you're sailing really hard, in which case the waves were just punching up through that wide open little through hull under a sealed piece of floor. So we have no idea why that was there, but we discovered that, used it for the drain for this. That is now a closed system and we have not had any more problems with water coming in here or coming into any of the benches inside. It was just a weird thing it took a while to figure out. The wiring and everything for the windlass, which we spoke about out there, is actually inside here down in one of those little compartments on the side. That's been completely rewired and remounted and organized so that it actually is safe and you can get to it and it all works. This is our little storage closet and we put a nice storage chest in here. It's just one of the plastic ones from Walmart, I believe. But it's got all kinds of stuff, paint supplies and plumbing pieces and hose. That's pretty much all for the hobbit hole. Another minor thing I didn't mention, new hinge on the nav table. It's a big long hinge on the whole thing.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness we added that. That was $10.
Okay, and the galley, which last time I did a boat tour, I didn't know why they call it a galley. And you know what? Nobody else does either. So
Man, I was waiting for some knowledge.
I looked it up and they were like, I don't know why it's called that. I'm like, all right, cool. Actually, we'll probably go start back here in the guest room / my parents' bedroom when they're here. And in their bathroom, we did lots of things. We did nice lights. So we fixed the lights. They were working. Our side was the one that wasn't working.
This one needed a shower light.
This one, yeah, the shower light was out and hanging. We fixed that. We put in new lights. They're pretty. They're bright. We have new faucets. We did new plumbing for the faucets, plus a new shower head. Got some nice bamboo mat. Basically just cleaned up the whole shower, cleaned up the whole toilet. We put a new toilet seat.
You mounted it.
Yeah, because it wasn't mounted before. And it just was sitting there. So it's now mounted. Put new sealant around so no water leaks.
Yeah.
water leaks are the big ones. Cleaned up
Of course, yeah.
all the grossness that was down in the bilge.
Right under Zeke, we discovered the most disgusting accumulation of water that we've ever seen.
And a towel that had been there for years. So right now we're using this kind of as storage as we work on everything else. Usually it would be cleaned up. But we have new fans and new LED lights in here also. We have courtesy lights that we put in, plus actual lights outside so you could turn on and off on a switch at a spot where it makes sense for a switch to be able to turn the lights on and off. I have all new door stops. They're now magnetized. Here we've got all new hardware on a bunch of these doors and cabinets so they actually open in our functional. And we reconditioned the floor.
These floors in here, we used a special cleaner and then a reconditioning solution that protects them. That was all through here and into the office as well.
Okay, now actually to the galley. Hardware, hatches, put all the hardware for the hatches on. We reconditioned this fridge. Actually, we put in a whole new fridge component.
But it's got a whole new cooler plate, and right under Lauren's foot is where the brand new compressor is. I put all that in NADA.
We have moved things around in here. We had trash cans on that side. We now have a freezer, dedicated freezer on that side, and we've moved the trash cans to the other side, which required a bunch of hole making and changing of things, which we still need to do more of. This is just an open space that will be storage. But right now some of it is used for a water maker. And so all the panels there and then the water maker components are all underneath. We have a new microwave and we rebuilt that to fit the microwave footprint. And then we just have like some random things that we use a lot of. We use the air fryer a lot. We do have an Instapot. We don't use that as much. We've got toaster. We've got SodaStream type thing.
Knockoff.
Yeah. We installed one fan. We installed paper towel holders. Oh, and we've reconditioned a bunch of these components. I don't know what parts of it are called, but
Well,
it now works.
we put all new burner plates, which is these, and it's funny how not new they look, and that happened about 24 hours after installing them. They just discolor immediately. All new distributors, and then the little doohickey that turns that off safety-wise if it's not hot, and I don't remember what it's called still.
So that's what we did.
All right, I'm gonna take you into the office/studio now. We haven't done a ton in here technically as far as real additions, things like that, but a lot of work is still taking place. This is where I narrate, and so I've sort of concocted this little studio area, which is a little cramped. This shelf is out of one of the cupboards, and I use it for my computer shelf, but that wouldn't normally be there. This would look like Riverside, which you'll see in a minute. And just for a little context, these are the lights that were on the boat originally, and you can get a good look at what those are like. They're big old halogens, and they're hot, and they take a ton of power, and they're ugly. This is the only room that we haven't replaced them because I don't usually use them. But what's happening very soon is this room, which was the head, as you can see, I've gotten most everything torn out of it, is about to be opened up and turned into one gigantor office. All right, we are in the starboard hall, which is our bedroom, bathroom. It's our hall. This shower, we've done a lot of similar things that we did to the other side. We've got a brand new shower head here. Both of these, this one and the other one, are low volume, high pressure heads, shower heads. So they take water that's not being pushed very hard and make it feel like it is. They really work well, and they were like $15. This one had a nice toilet to start with. It's kind of the bigger style, but we put a brand new toilet seat on it, of course. All the plumbing, all the hoses are new. The electrical wiring is new. On this side of the boat, we've put all new switches in everywhere. Brand new mirror, just like on the other side. Down in here, One of our most recent ads is a new water heater, and it's a point of use water heater of 2.5 gallons. It's been working really good. Our little IKEA trash can and toilet scrubber, which we bought just because they're made to be mounted, and it makes it much easier to clean around here. And then when we're sailing, we know we're not going to have toilet water or a trash can dumped on our floor in the middle of the passage. Brand new switch and outlet. This one has been rewired. All of our DC has been rewired in here too. We had horrible gremlins for our lighting for 6 months or so, at least. And I finally wound up rewiring it to some of the other wiring in the boat, and it's been perfect ever since. This is the hatch with the missing handle that Lauren was talking about. That has just become a struggle. But we had a piece that somebody had cut that was supposed to be for this. So we tried it, and it's a long story, but it didn't really work. It didn't want to seal. So this one's currently taped together. You have to glue the handle to the surface, and we've tried it 3 times now. And I just bought some new epoxy that might do a better job. We're planning to replace this hatch. It's just not a now thing. In here, we got 2 fancy fans in this room. It had one, we added another. These have little remotes, so so we don't have to reach all the way over here when we're in bed to turn our fan on. And just for Lauren, is it okay to show people this? All new shelves. You know what? It's better than it was before I put the shelves in for you. But there's 3 big shelves in here. It's a huge closet, by the way. I mean, no offense, but it's a huge closet, and those shelves really make a lot of space. On this side, we have the switch right here for hall lights. This hall didn't have any functioning lights. Now it has courtesy lights as well. Down in here, we have a brand new air conditioner pump for this side. However, we've never used it because this controller died on us. So one of our next steps is to move the controller from the other side over here, get this air conditioner working and make sure it's charged and everything, and then go from there.
This is River's bedroom. I think this is the least that we've done on in anybody's room. New LEDs, you can see what the old footprint was to the new footprint.
And in my defense, we have no plans of keeping this panel because it's kind of crap. So I'm like, I'm just gonna drill new holes for these because we're gonna cover it anyway.
You can see how we had to make that one fit.
Yeah, this is what the living room looked like before I put the new ones in.
And like you've already talked about, we put all the new hardware, door hardware in, cabinet hardware, all of those are new. Fixed the fan in here. Put some art in. It looks like a little kid's room.
Yeah.
So it's nice. He picked out that picture all by himself.
Like lots of places in the boat, the wall vinyl is giving us fits and it's got to come down.
We hide it with a bear, so
yeah,
you don't see any of it. And then we also did a lot of work in his bathroom though, so we may not have done very much in the bedroom yet, but the bathroom has been worked on.
Yeah, a lot.
We have a new mirror in there, new faucet. We fixed this toilet. We bought a new toilet at one point. Was this the new one?
Toilet, yeah.
Even though we ended up not actually needing it, right?
No,
technically.
It was questionable whether the pump was bad or not.
So it's got all the new wiring, it's got a new plumbing. Fish like to get in there, so we checked that plumbing a lot. All the things that we've talked about, we replaced in here also.
He gets a soap dispenser because he had an extra hole.
All right, and those are all the things that we have done. There we are. That was our halfway done after way too many years boat tour.
You're getting the quick and dirty version where some of these things actually were a really big deal and took a lot of time. Whether they were a lot of money or not, hard to say. This has been kind of interesting walking through and looking at all this stuff because...
Interesting or depressing?
Both, really. I look at the things we've done and I'm pretty proud of the stuff we've done to make the boat look so much better and be so much more livable. It's a very comfortable boat to live on now. It's not perfect yet, obviously. We've got some things to work on in the comfort department and obviously in the functionality department, which is part of why we're here in St. Martin. This is going to be a long process and we are forcing ourselves not to rush it. Over this next year, we're going to be putting together all those components to deal with that big old elephant on the boat, which is that dead motor on the port side.
you know, we get a lot of comments of like, oh, we're just in the Caribbean, we're just in the Caribbean, we're just in the Caribbean, and we're not going anywhere. And it's like that. This is why we're just in the Caribbean, because a lot of these things that we are fixing up were never on our radar to begin with when we bought the boat and have come up and needed fixed.
And yet we've still done 2,500, 3,000 miles since then.
I'm not saying that we don't move. It's just...
But we would have moved a lot more. Yeah. Go check out our website, though. It's been completely redesigned. It's brand new. A lot of new information about our whole deal, the boat, and a whole page dedicated to the electric motors that we're going to be putting in to deal with that really big last issue that we've got to handle.
And I'm going to make Eric write up a whole blog post on everything that we just talked about. So you can check out that right at our website too.
Yeah. It'll be right after all of Warren's cooking posts.
Yeah, from like 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, without further ado, here's a really fast scrolling list of all the stuff we just mentioned and the final cost of everything we've spent on the boat so far.
Oh my God.
We don't know what it is yet because I haven't totaled it up.
I gotta
go write down all these numbers and figure out. Yeah, and if some of these are off, I'm not surprised. It's our best guess on some of these. But I will say my guess is it's not as much as you or we thought it was. And the big reason for that is, and I'm proud of this as well, there's not a single thing on this boat that we haven't done ourselves. We have brought in help to help us fix things that have failed on at least 3 different occasions and kind of gave up on us. And then we managed to fix it ourselves or replace it ourselves or whatever was the case. That's one way we've managed to do this at all, especially with all the troubles we've had, is being willing to just take it a day at a time and work on the things ourselves, do the work ourselves. All right, guys, thanks so much. Go check out our website. We appreciate y'all sticking with us and hanging with us. Subscribe. Go check out Patreon if you'd like to support our videos a little bit more. And we'll see you next time.
That's all we got.
Cheers.